guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I do want to make over our fireplace. It's been a minute since I've been able to really work on anything around my house because I've been busy with school and work. But anyway, as you can see, the brick, I had painted this brick fireplace probably 7-8 years ago maybe, and it was starting to chip, so I decided it was time to make it over. I do want to remove this mantle. I was on the fence about whether to take it down and leave it down or to take it down and replace it with another one, but if you keep watching you'll see what I decided to do. So I removed this mantle and it was very easy to remove. Actually, it was surprisingly easy to remove, so I figured it was probably time to take it down if it was that easy. This is the next morning where I took the mantle down, and it's a little bit brighter because it's the next morning, so the space looks a little brighter. I can work better. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clean out these two holes. I went to the store looking for some brick to replace it with, but they didn't have any. They had the paver bricks, but that was all they had. Instead of just running around trying to find something, I knew that these blocks that came out of these holes would fit perfectly. So I went out and I just cut that extra piece off, and this is how I'm going to try to replace this brick. My goal was to just make it look like the brick as much as possible by using some Quikrete to put around it to make sure it stays. So yeah, I think I googled to see if you could replace brick with wood. I don't think I really found anything, so I just said I could give it a shot. And you see this one fit quite snug, so it wasn't a big deal. The firebox, I did clean it once before. I'm not really sure if I just missed some or what, but anyways, I'm gonna clean it this time. Even though it's not really going to matter because it's going to be covered, but I still wanted to go ahead and do it since I had the space cleaned out. And I did go ahead and wash the brick down. So now I'm just going to take my hammer and my chisel, and I'm just trying to make a cleaner working surface. Since I've never even used Quikrete before, I did want to make sure any loose mortar that was still on the brick, and because there was a lot of pieces that was just kind of hanging out, not just what I chipped off. So anyway, the point of that was me just making the surface probably easier to work with. And I did this on both sides, and then I just took the vacuum cleaner and cleaned it out, and that was it. That was just an easy process. I probably didn't have to do all this, but I did just to make sure the Quikrete did stick, because I obviously didn't want to have to redo this. So yeah, I just vacuumed out my hose, and here's where I tried to create the groove in the wood to make it look like the brick. I just took the chiseled a little bit, and this one I'm not done with it, but I had stopped because I wanted to show you all what I was doing with it. And yeah, that's all I was doing, is just using the chisel, and I'm not even, at this point, I don't even really remember how I did that. I know I used the chisel. Yeah, and just kind of used the hammer, I think, to just kind of chisel that space out so that it lines up with the brick. Yep. And that was it. I know y'all wondering, like, what is she doing? But keep watching. So here's another thing I probably didn't have to do, but I did it just because I always prime. Anything I paint wood, I prime it, or anytime I do anything with wood, I'm gonna prime it. So on the instructions to use the Quikrete, it did say to wet your surface down, and then here I'm just using the Quikrete to fill the hole. I'm gonna set the block up here just to see how much I'm gonna need. And this side I needed a lot more, so what I did was I just went and packed it all the way around it, and then I just placed it back in there, and then I used my hand to just kind of mold it and pack it in there. So I'm gonna quit talking at this point and just let you guys see what I was doing. Alright, so like I said earlier, I did decide to go ahead and clean the rest of the soot that was still left in here. And yes, I'm using scrubbing bubbles. That's what you see. I think I saw this online. Somebody was using scrubbing bubbles, and to me, this was a lot better than purchasing some ammonia. Ammonia is a strong chemical, so I did not want to use that. So yeah, the scrubbing bubbles work just fine. As you can see, it got enough of the rest of it that was on enough soot, so I was satisfied with that. Okay, so the Quikrete is dry. It is a little gritty, so I took some sandpaper to kind of smooth it out. And this side over here, same thing. As you can notice that this brick here, I guess it broke or something. It's uneven, but I'm going to fix it in the end, so that's not a problem. But now I'm going to go ahead and focus on spray painting the inside of the firebox, and I'm going to be using just some black spray paint I picked up from Ace. I'm not aiming for full coverage except on the two sides. That'll be showing just a little bit. The rest of it I just wanted to put a light coat on, and that was it. So that was no big deal because, like I said, it'll be covered. But then it was on to priming the fireplace, and I did pick up this Purdy Golden Eagle 1 1/4 inch nap roller cover. It's a high density roller cover, and it gets into the grooves of the brick a lot easier. It holds a lot of paint, so that just makes your job a lot easier. Yeah, and so as you can see here, I'm getting ready to paint the brick, and I did use a brush to go ahead and start, put my first coat on the grooves of the brick, and then a coat on the parts of where the mantle was hanging and where I fixed it, the holes with the Quikrete. Put a light coat on that, but other than that, this was all I had to do here. And then I just took that roller and rolled on my primer. And I know I sped the video up, but this was very, very easy here. This took no time at all. So yeah. And after I primed it, I did go over it again with some white paint I picked up from Lowe's called the Perfect White, and it was in satin. Okay, so I went to Lowe's and picked up these two sample containers of paints. This one is Peppercorn by Sherwin-Williams. It's like a charcoal gray color. I did want a dark color, but I also wanted a lighter color to offset the darkness, because again, I was trying to lighten up the space. So I chose this one, which is Repose Gray by Sherwin-Williams. It's a lighter gray, obviously, but I decided to just use these two and just see how it turns out. I only used one color the last time I did it, but this time I want to use two different colors. Okay, so I purchased this electric fireplace insert off of Amazon. We don't use the fireplace, but I didn't want to just leave the hole there, so I decided to purchase this and put it in there, and it pretty much fit perfectly in the space. I had to make some minor adjustments that you'll probably see in the end. Okay, so as I was getting ready to put the mantle up, I realized I made a huge mistake. When I measured and put it up, I had it turned the right way, but I guess once I laid it down and flipped the bracket over, I ended up putting it on the brick upside down, which meant the mantle is upside down. The holes should be on the bottom, they're on the top. But as you'll see in the end, it's not going to be noticeable because, like I said, they're on the top and it's going to be just fine. And that's all I was explaining. I was also explaining whether I wanted to keep it that color or if I wanted to paint it. But you'll see in the end, I decided to keep the mantle as it was. Okay, I wanted to jump in here really quickly to tell you all about this Fireplace Insert. You can change the color of the logs, the color of the flames, the height and speed of the flames. And yes, it's summertime, but the heat is not on. You can use this, like I said, with or without the heat, and I'm using it without the heat right now just for the purpose of the video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed my fireplace makeover. Stay tuned because I am working on my living room. If you guys have any questions about anything I used or any of the products or anything I did in this video, you can leave me a comment. But I will try to link anything I use in the description box. Thanks for watching. See you next time.